Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus once again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Several months ago, I mentioned to you when it seemed obvious that the people were unaware of the trickery of the system, that as advocate for the best that I can imagine and hope for the human race, that when I see something going on, trickery, or deceptive in our administration of our system of government, that I would come and speak out to you, for which I think I've been very diligent in this pursuit. And I find today one of those occasions in which I must do diligence. It was most recent, I believe, that the FBI has been fired from doing its duties. And to some it's justified, to others it's not. But what I want to draw to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is something that's going on within our system of government, amongst the Republicans and the Democrats, amongst the liberals and the conservatives, that seems to be the same. It's just a repeat of itself. One moment you can see the Democrats upset at the Republicans' actions in regards to certain policies or concerns. And the next day or next moment or two, you can see the reverse. And so what is condemned by Democrats about Republicans, the next day can be condemned by Republicans about Democrats. And each of us know that this is true because of the kind of operation in the system basically that we live under. And most folks don't seem to understand how that can be fixed. They all want it fixed. They all hope it would be fixed. But there's no communication about really fixing it. You have many people coming in as a Republican or a Democrat or a conservative or liberal or otherwise, stating that they can do it, and usually the end result is just a repeat of an outcome that has happened previous. And even if it's a different outcome, it does not satisfy the concerns of the people. And so I find it essential, ladies and gentlemen, to confess to you that the information that I bring to you has nothing to do with academia. I bring to you what I have been qualified for in a sense, got some training as a social scientist. The other is that I have been given an inside scope about a lot of things that you don't see. You have not been denied anything. You just didn't take advantage of it, couldn't take advantage of it because you were unaware of it. And I say this because the education that we receive from the system is designed to keep the system as it is and progressively lead it toward where it wants to go. And where it wants to go is total authoritarianism. It wants to be Lord and God over all. And that is the concept, believe it or not, of all of the education that you get. Even your religious education, which talks about a great, great beyond. It even conforms to the ways of the systems wherever you live, whether it's in the United States, Russia, China, anywhere in the world. You conform to the system which you give all allegiance to. You can talk about anything else, but this thing that will take your life, you will go and kill to keep this thing from taking your life. That is what the draft is for, to enable someone else to order you to go kill or go fight their battles, give your life for it, so it can maintain itself, usually in a situation where it works against those who you seem to love or say you love, while you go out and do damage control for another. But that's the way we have been taught, that's the way we are. And for those of you who say you love God, where is this God that you love? That is a question that those who don't believe in God are actually asking. You got the mega churches filled with people who say they love God, but it appears as though the only blessings that comes through that is that those who are running the organization seems to reap in all of the so-called resources that would enable one to say for their dreams to come true. The congregation provides that, while they themselves are denied that. And then you have congregations where people say, plant a seed. and they use this as a tool to prove that their God is legitimate. While you plant a seed and someone receives a blessing and acknowledges that the blessing has come through, and the whole of the congregation who can support planting seeds will do so. So it becomes expedient for the ruler, the leader, the deceiver, to exercise this and invest part of the receipts back to a choice individual in order to deceive the many. So this goes on, and I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that I want to talk to you, and I want to constantly do this to you because things are constantly going wrong in our society. They're going wrong because we are making the wrong choices. Nevertheless, the choices that we make is the result of the fruits that we receive. The choices that we make brings back the results that we receive. Now, what's illegitimate about that? Nothing. The Heavenly Father who created all things says that if you plant a seed, that's what you're going to get back. And it has nothing to do with planting money, that God will bless you, because God does not work that way. The God that is truly the ruler of all does not wear pants nor a dress. In fact, you can't even touch it. And really, you can't see it. You can't smell it, can't feel it. The sixth sense kind of denied it. But one thing that happens after, when you look at the earth, you know it's there. You can't deny it. When it requires oxygen for you to breathe and live, it's happening. You can't deny that. Water, how essential it is for you to survive. You can't deny that. There are other things. These things have been given by the God. That power that you can't see is touching. And yet, that power gave you some responsibilities in your living, some responsibilities in your survival. Now, wonder why was that given to you? So you can mature, so that you can grow, so that you can develop into the God type of individual that you have been created to be. And that means learning truth, following the road of truth that will lead you. It's like that seed that is planted that has all those different components in it that goes out and do different things and draws back certain things that give that plant an abundant life. This is also for you. You can have what you prove that you want by planting that seed. Now, we're in a society right now that is void of this information. That information has been made available to you, but it's been misconstrued to do things that people who don't know God have tried to interpret it to be. People who read a Bible or Quran or any holy book and call themselves interpreting it, maybe being persuaded by their race, maybe being persuaded by their nationality, maybe being persuaded by their gender or their hate or their disgust at life itself, trying to interpret the truth, a truth that they do not understand, evidenced by all of the various representations of the love of God. Now, what makes me come to you and tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as spokesman and advocate for your dreams to come true in this life and at this time, is because I come to speak to you of a God that cares about you, a God that has provided this for you and yet have given you the opportunity to decide whether you wanted it or not by choosing and planting the seed that will produce whatever it is that you want. But I'm of the experience that you have been deceived, and when you're deceived, you don't usually know that you're deceived. And when somebody comes and tells you that you're deceived, you don't want to believe that. You think somebody else is trying to deceive you. But here's what I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that there are many people out here, many, but in the totality of numbers, as far as humans are, it's a very few people who are familiar with the truth. And it is very complicated to get all of this education that you receive from your cradle to be changed overnight. But here in America, we get a chance to see what's really going on. We see evil personified if we want to speak of evil. And I want you to speak of evil. I want you to speak of evil as that seed that goes forward to usurp from others that which they have planted their seed for, so that this one seed can come back, taking a chicken that used to be a small chicken, now because it has sucked in all this other outside stuff, the same chicken is this big and got drumsticks this big, fruits and vegetables just grown like this, and you eat it and it kills you, because there is no truth in the lie that they perpetrate, but they can't do anything other than that because they don't accept the fact that there is a power outside of themselves. And yet, those who know sometimes choose to deny. But those who do not deny, they stand to give life and energy to it, knowing that nothing else in the world can stop them. Even their death does not stop them. Some of the times, the greatest good a person can do is after they're dead, and the fruit of the seed is planted at that time to give a new understanding about all that is. So what I'm not saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. There's some ugly things going on when you look at the United States and other countries. I want you to know that the Creator wants all of humanity to experience peace, prosperity, and joy. His part, when I say his, I'm just relating something that you might be able to identify, because you've always been taught that God has something to do outside of a spirit. But not that the Spirit of God is to be generated in such a way that it is received into your bodies, and you're supposed to become the physical manifestation of God, and not a disbeliever of God. But when you recognize the love of God, who is essentially necessary for other ingredients for survival, such as food, you recognize that there are people in this world whose only desire is to work in those areas that has to do with the production of food. And having the opportunity to do it, they can do it so well, and to such a degree that an abundance of food would be created continuously, that all humans would never be denied food. And if something happens that's going to eradicate this continued flow, that the Creator of food, the Creator of life, would have already generated something to replace it. Of this we must be assured. And I'm saying this in regards to shelter and education and health care. And all of this is met because each of us, not just some that have been chosen to perpetrate a lie, but each of us have something that we love to do. It might be babysitting. We wouldn't want to do anything else but babysit. It might be in a supermarket, labeling food products so people will know what they're getting. It might be digging a ditch so that water can flow to certain tributaries so it won't be causing so many floods in homes. It might have to do with picking up oil or polishing a car or washing a car. It might have to do with cleaning out a toilet. Something that we, as those individuals who have been chosen to do these things, will find the greatest joy in so doing. It might be creating architects for bridges and buildings and making movies and singing and dancing. It might be cultivating the soil. It might be any of these things. But my friends, my sisters, and my brothers, regardless of whatever the job that you've been given to do that gives you the greatest joy in doing, not only does it do that, it also provides for you any of the survival necessities that you desire. And at your specification, this is what God has provided for you to do. But it happens only, ladies and gentlemen, not by some lie that someone told you. If you give God 10%, then God will open up a window and pour you out a blessing. No, it says if you can pull off this junk that you've been educated and programmed with, and then receive the truth in your life. Receive the truth in your life. 10% of the truth will allow you to apply yourselves in the way that has been designed, so that all of the stuff that will be available to you, you won't even want. Because now you have unlimited access to any car you want. When you have that, how many cars you want? You don't want to own any. You just want to pick up one every now and then. Or maybe somebody else driving it. Your house, Yeah, I'm not trying to crowd your house out of your refrigerator over, because now it is all open to you. Sometimes you don't want to eat at home. You don't want to be at home. You want to be at a restaurant being served by people who can't wait to serve you and let you understand how good this food is that they put together. I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, pull off this junk in America. Pull off Donald Trump and all them Republican and Democratic lies. Those of you in other parts of the world, pull off that junk that China's telling you, Russia, what do you call it? Socialism is telling you, authoritarianism is telling you. And when you can do this, ladies and gentlemen, when you understand this, you don't mind putting your life on the line. Why? Because you're living. You are living. You are seeing the fruits of your faith. And with faith like that and results like that, you're not worried about everlasting life. You know that's in hand of another. And all you got to do is apply yourself wherever you are, whenever you are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the 99%, if you're not thinking like this, you're wasting the people's time. Nobody wants a repeat of the current system that we have in America. Nobody wants to say, well, we made a step forward, we're getting a little bit better. It's time out for that junk. Let's do it the real thing. Let's recognize that if God say, lay down, you're going to lay down, whether you want to or not. If God says have a stroke, you're going to have a stroke, whether you want to or not. If it says come dumb, deaf, you're going to have it, whether you want to or not. If it says stand up and look like a fool, you're going to do that, whether you want to or not, because you don't have that God power. But that God power has given you the ability to determine whether you want to live like in heaven or whether you want to live like in hell. Now, those of you who choose to live in hell, God grants that you can do that. Those who want to live like in heaven, God grants that you can do this. But to live in heavenly conditions does not mean that you got to sometime put on the coat of hellishness. If you want to live in hell, stay out of heavenly things. God will do the separating. It might mean living here on this earth, someplace where you're separated. It might mean being transformed to another location. Or it might mean standing up right where you are, saying no to that which you say no to, and letting God fight your battles. Because you don't give in. You don't give in. Now, with that, you should have a little bit something that would help you to understand that the battle is, yes, it's a total input. It's a collective thing. But it begins with you. Not the next person. It begins with you. That's all you got to worry about. Are you taking care of your part? And when all of you are taking care of your part, all of creation that's been given to you by that power that you can't see, touch, feel, but recognize every time it moves, you will be a partner with it. And it is yours as a gift for following the truth. Bye-bye.